Hi, the very simple electronic channel is here. In previous video, light bulb was simply replaced with two white LEDs, but what with the rear of the bike? There should be a red light. That is also very important. We do need just two red LEDs, right? Let's try out. Here is on this little breadboard is 4 LEDs, so go for it. And this is working, but can we get this brighter? On our generator is written 6 volt and 3 watt of power, so let's try 1 watt LEDs. Here they are on this board. Now trying the white ones. There is more white light. Now I add the red ones with that jumper, and now the white ones not work, but the reds are killing my eyes. Is the difference? We just use more powerful LEDs. The, let's say, stronger LEDs are more ideal. That means they are more diodes and less anything else. In any given electronic components there is one main feature, and there are some other side things like internal resistance and other things. Let's see our generator. Its main business is to generate power, but if we measure the resistance of it, this is around 5-6 ohm. That means if we draw 0.1 amps, we will lose 0.5 volts inside the generator. That isn't much, under 2% of nominal power. But what with LEDs? They also have an internal resistance that works against efficiency. An ideal red LED will light up around 1.6 volts because it is a semiconductor. The semiconductor won't work just because some power is applied. They need a certain level of it. Checking this battery. Voltage is around 1.5 volts. Now if we connect this to our board, we can see almost nothing. One LED is producing some red light, barely visible, and the whites do nothing at all because they are lights up around 3 volts. The situation is this. Here is the sine wave picture from Wikipedia, and this is what comes out from our generator, ideally. But as the voltage rises around 1.6 volts, there one red LED starts to shine. As more and more current goes through it, because it is more ideal, the internal resistance of it is low, so voltage won't rise much on LED. On the other side, because the internal resistance of the generator, voltage will drop significantly. On oscilloscope screen we could see chop off the top of sine wave. So the reds take all the power because they prevent voltage from rising enough for fire up white ones, or we can say the red shorts the white one. With some resistor in series with reds we can overcome this situation, but what value it should have we can calculate, or we can just try out. For example, with this, a professional version of this device called resistor decade. With that they can set the resistance very precisely, but we don't need much precision here. this device contains some ordinary value resistors to choose. So let's start with 100 ohms. And this is working. With lower resistance we can add more power to red like 56, 47. Okay, 22. Let's see, 10. 10 ohms seems to be too low, but with 22 this will work just fine, even if someone just slowly pushes the bike. The result is very good, almost too good. Probably someone would put another resistor in series with white LEDs. I must admit I didn't use 1 watt red LEDs at the rear, because that is an overkill. They are 8mm through-hole types. I just drilled holes in plastic to hold them in place. I tried to make some Nike video, but it is turned out very poor. On this video I just pushing the bike. Back. Nothing complicated. How you can make it? Here are the tools and materials. We can use a universal printed circuit board, but this is not the best solution for power devices. We just need a groove on proper sized board. My first tool for making grooves I made from a file according an article. This is like tool for a lathe. Works, but not very good for hand use. Then I also destroyed a knife with an angle grinder. This is the result, and find this more practical. You can also use a metal saw like this, also works very well. After making the groove in the middle, just turn against the light. If there is no any connection, this is fine. This is not fine. Let's try the saw. Maybe our board is finished, but it is dirty and greasy from our fingers, needs cleaning. In every kitchen can be found cleaning materials that can be used. So I prefer this. I should get a new one. This is used for cleaning copper pipes before soldering. Very good solution for cleaning copper. Now the copper plate is shiny, we can place components. The problem with surface mount parts, unlike through-hole ones, that they won't stay in place, need glue or something else. This LED has metal buttons for cooling purpose, so let's kill two birds with one stone. Use some thermal paste as glue and improve the cooling of LEDs through copper surface. Check the markings on LEDs. They should be opposite. Be careful, you can make a short circuit with the bottom of LED. I like to use this old solder gun. This is made in former Czechoslovakia, I think. I use it a lot, although this is not recommended for any serious work, especially in electronics. It is heavy, temperature is not controlled, after longer use it will overheat. The tip is quickly melting away. Some little advances are heating up instantly and rapidly cooling down, and the tip can be made of piece of copper wire. You can throw this into a bag and go. Generally, if you don't have a lab, this is the first choice for making just a couple connections. Of course, you need solder wire and some resin flux. Use good quality 60-40 wires. I have a little wire brush for cleaning the tips. Good to have a little fan to blow away the fumes. Switch on. Occasionally dip into the rosin and just heat the joints and add some wire. That's all. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you soon.